we have a new film from the world of John Wick. It's called Ballerina, and it's about the Roscaroma, the ballerinas that we got to see a little bit of a piece of in John Wick Chapter 3. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the summer, because even though I don't think the John Wick franchise is one of the best franchises ever, like a lot of people do, still think it's a pretty dang good franchise. I don't think there's like a single terrible, absolutely abysmal movie in the franchise. So I was excited for it. I was also pretty nervous for the movie. Chad Stahelski's not directing this one. He directed the other movies in the franchise. There's been some behind-the-scenes drama with it. So I could totally see a world where this ends up being a bad movie. I saw it a couple days early at a press screening. The embargo didn't release until last night. I didn't film my video or upload it until then. So filming it now, you probably go see it in the theaters now. But what did I think of Ballerina? I'll tell you here in just a minute. Before I do, make sure to go down to your comment section and tell me what are your opinions on from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. What are your opinions on the John Wick franchise? And stay tuned for a John Wick movies ranked coming this weekend. And with that said, Ballerina is really good. Couple things hold it back from being great, which is disappointing for me because everybody is saying that this movie was awesome. I really liked it. There are a lot of things in this movie that made me say it's awesome. Overall, I left the theater saying the movie was awesome, but I can't go to that next level tier like a lot of people are, at least until I get a rewatch of the film. So, Ballerina has things that really work for me. Biggest thing you gotta talk about when you're talking about a John Wick film is the action good? Yes, the action is insane in this movie. I think, personally, this might be the one that flows the best, pacing-wise, because you start out with a bang, and then it just keeps going from action set piece, action set piece, to as soon as you almost enter the third act, or even just like a couple minutes before the third act, it goes action, 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 and it's a lot of fun. It never slows down. It never gets boring, and all the action set pieces, you can see everything. It's got that cool stylized stuff. You get stuff with flamethrowers, you get stuff with grenades, you get stuff with swords, and it's awesome stuff. Personally, for me, I think this could possibly be tied for the best third act inside this entire franchise. The stuff they do, it goes insane, and the thought that was in my head while watching this third act was, how can someone watch this movie and not think this is some of the coolest stuff ever put to screen? Same thing when I was just watching John Wick Chapter 4, rewatching John Wick Chapter 4, about an hour before I sat down to record this video. How can people watch these action sequences and watch these third acts of movies and not say, that is some of the coolest stuff ever put to screen? This movie captures the action sequences that makes the John Wick franchise. Along those lines, you also get to explore this world a little bit more. From the very beginning, it's about the ballerina group in the Roscaroma, and it's very interesting. Everything that they do there is very interesting. They expand the lore of the Roscaroma, and it never gets boring. It never feels like, oh, okay, they could have done this somewhere else. No, it expands the world, and expands the world in a good way. You got this cult, you got the twists, the turns, all that, and it just expands the overall world of John Wick, and it's just a movie that, for people saying like, oh, do we need a prequel, or not a prequel, but do we need a spin-off in the John Wick universe? This movie answers that question, yes, and it puts the thought in my mind, I want more spin-offs in the John Wick universe. If you can capture the same action, and if you can get the lore building, the world building, yes, I want about 10 more of these movies. Because this one captured both of that. Along those same lines, Ana de Armas, insane, as always. She's just a great actress. She had her little piece in No Time to Die, and ever since then, everyone, including me, has been saying, oh, I want her to be in an action movie, and being the lead. And here she is, and it does not disappoint. She is awesome as the lead in this movie. The stuff she does is insane. So, she really works. This rest of the cast is great as well. Keanu Reeves is back as John Wick for a little bit. So, overall, I think this movie was really good. It is definitely worth your time. If you like the John Wick movies, I'd say go out to the theater and watch this movie because it captures the action, it expands a little bit on the world, and it's got a great lead. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of problems that kind of held this movie back from just the great tier for me. It's going to be on the good tier when I do my summer tier list movies after the summer. First off, the script, and it's not like a big deal, it might just be a little thing for me. There are several sequences that characters are just having these cringe dialogue like, okay, yeah, you could have tweaked that out a little bit, and it's very clearly reminiscent of the the studio hell that this movie was in, that you know, had to be tweaking the script just a little bit there, and doesn't quite fully work for me. And along those same lines, I don't think John Wick is utilized in this movie well, like, at all. You get to tease that he is going to be the big guy in this movie. There's going to be a big fight between him and Ana de Armas, and it lasts for like 3 minutes. Very disappointing in that. And then the rest of the movie, he doesn't even really have that much lines. He just, I don't feel like he was utilized all that great in the movie. And in the middle of the movie, I started to feel like the film was getting a little bit repetitive for me. Like, we get the main story. We start getting into the story, and it just starts to feel like, okay, yeah, now it's starting to twist its way into just a generic blockbuster. Fortunately, that only lasts for about 20 minutes, and then we get into the third act stuff where it just goes wild, goes crazy, locks me in, and made me say this movie was really good. But it's worth mentioning that the middle of the movie just left me feeling like, okay, getting a little bit repetitive here. So with that, a couple script issues, and the fact that John Wick is not utilized well at all, those are pretty big problems within the movie. Not problems that are going to make me say, like, okay, it's got potential, but it's not a good movie. It's still a really good movie, but those definitely held it back from being in the great tier. Before I give you my final score of From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, make sure to subscribe, like button, hit the bell, and comment down below. What is your opinions on this movie? Have you seen it? If you have not seen it, what are your expectations for the movie? And stay tuned for a John Wick Movies Ranked coming this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really controversial ranking. And with that said, From the World of John Wick, Ballerina has some excellent action set pieces. It also has some great world building with Ana de Armas is awesome. But we have a few too many negatives that held it back from entering that next tier. So for me, I'm going to give Ballerina a B. Thank you guys for clicking on this video. Stay tuned for the John Wick ranking. And with that said, subscribe.